We are back, first episode back of Inside Hancock County with Mitch Gibson. Since the coronavirus, this is my first in-person one. I don't know why I'm a little nervous about it, but I kind of am. I talk too much, talk too much sometimes, but we just kind of talked about that. I'd love to talk, and I think it's going to be a fun episode for you guys to listen to and watch this week. I appreciate you guys always tuning in and listening to us. Before we get started, don't forget to go like and subscribe us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also on YouTube. Got lots of great stuff coming out for you guys. And also don't forget to go to the website, InsideHancockCounty.com, to subscribe to our new email marketing list that's going to be sending you out weekly steals and deals around Hancock County with different coupons, restaurants, from hotels to coffee shops, things in that nature that I think you guys will like, and just a benefit for you guys for listening to the show, and you guys are much appreciated. So today I'm sitting with Sara Joyner with Joyner Homes. We're actually in one of her beautiful spec homes. I walked in and said, I just love the smell of this place, and she just has that new house smell, which I'm sure never gets old. But Sara, I appreciate you taking time to sit down and talk with me this morning.
Sure.
I guess kind of get started for everybody. I know everybody knows, and I think everybody in Hancock County at this point knows who Joyner Homes is and what you guys do in building homes. You guys have a phenomenal product, and you guys do a great job, not only with your business, but also with the things that you guys do in the community, supporting many different local not-for-profits. I can't even name them off the top of my hands, and that's a big yes and a big thank you, I'm sure, from everybody in the Hancock County community. But to kind of give us a background and get us started, where did you come from? Where did you from young Sara to meeting Tom to having kids, and then all the way up to Joyner Homes? Bring us up to par with that.
So Tom and I were both actually born in Newark, Ohio, which is just east of Columbus, maybe 30 minutes outside of Columbus. And we lived there in Newark. Tom lived there the whole time through, all through high school. I made a brief stint over in Lancaster, which is another little suburb. And then we actually met and started dating in high school. So junior year of high school, we were high school sweethearts. And then senior year, decided we were both going to go to Miami University, Miami, Ohio. So he followed, his brothers were there. I won't say he followed his brothers there, but he joined his brothers there, and he's always been kind of, science-minded, like to figure things out, that type of thing. So went into manufacturing engineering, which seemed like a really good fit for him. I actually went to Miami as well, and started as a high school math teacher. That's what I wanted to teach, calculus, for whatever, that was my thing,
There's not a lot of people that could probably say that either.
Probably not, but I attribute it to, I had really a great calculus teacher who really, as cheesy as it sounds, believed in me and thought I'd be a good teacher, and so I thought, that's what I want to do. And until I got to Calc 2 and in college, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, and so I realized that wasn't really my passion. I like numbers. I've always liked numbers, and so just kind of started thinking, and I was like, I'm going to switch, to the business school. And so I switched over to, I think I was going to start as an accounting major, and then I ran the numbers, did all the math, and I could pick up a finance double major for 16 extra credit hours or something. So I did that. So I was accounting and finance double major, and found out that's exactly where I needed to be. I loved every class. I did all my homework, not even remotely dreading it. It was the perfect fit. So really all through probably even high school, but definitely college, we talked a lot about our future. We're big planners, and Tom has always, I will say, he's always wanted to start his own business, but he's kind of always had his own business. Right. So, he sold baseball cards, and not to his friends, set up at baseball card shows and went to dealers and did all that stuff. Sold magazines, not through the school, on his own, to be able to buy a tent. So he's been
a hustler.
Yeah, he loves that kind of stuff, and so he's definitely always wanted to own his own business. I didn't necessarily see myself doing that. Wasn't opposed to it necessarily. I'm a process follower, so I pictured myself kind of climbing the corporate ladder. So after college, we both said, hey, it was, we graduated May of 2001 from college and got married the year before that, so right as our junior year. And the economy was starting to go down, especially in the manufacturing sector, before September 11th. And we said, we are hometown people. We loved the idea of coming back home to Newark, and there were no jobs. There just wasn't an opportunity. And so we, as pragmatic as we are, we said, forget this, we're moving to California. So our friends were moving to California, so we said, find us an apartment, and they did, and we moved to LA.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, super out of character.
How was that living?
Really, really out of character. How was LA?
How was that life like living out there?
Well, we lasted 2 years, and I would say the first year and a half, I mean, we loved it. It was great for 2 young kids,
Right.
but pretty quickly realized, like, we're not going to afford a house here. Probably, I mean, not sure how you would even raise kids here financially,
Right.
let alone it didn't have that small town feel. It didn't feel like home. Loved the beach. We lived, so LAX, the runways here, then Imperial Boulevard was here, and our apartment was here.
Oh, wow.
And then the beach was there. I mean, we were so
That's
close to all that. It was awesome. We went to the beach a lot, but that eventually gets old.
Right,
But
absolutely.
regardless, he started working for a construction company, a construction management company. I went to work for Computer Sciences Corporation, a Fortune 500 company, as a financial analyst.
Look at you,
Yeah. So great first jobs. I mean, fantastic. But eventually kind of said, this is just not where we see ourselves necessarily. So let's move back home. So we did. He got a job first with a general contractor, residential and commercial, as a project manager. And I started in the kind of as a bookkeeper, accounting department in a local office supply company. So did that for a few years, had Josie, our oldest daughter, and then things at his job, there was some stuff going on, and he said, I don't know that this is like super secure anymore. And my dad said, hey, there's an opportunity you may want to look at. It's called Epcon Communities. It's a franchise system for building homes. And so we went down that path, did some research, found out it was a really good fit for us with his construction knowledge, my finance and accounting, small business. And it was a franchise, which if you've done any research on franchises, those are great ways to start a business. They have a much lower failure rate than otherwise, because it's hard to start a business. I mean, you know that.
Especially at the scale of building a home for someone to live in.
Right. So we went down that road and really loved the product and loved the support that we were given through that. And they were sold out of Ohio, and franchises were sold out in Ohio. So we had to look outside of Ohio and found Greenfield, literally kind of just on a map. So,
Wow.
But did the research and, came here multiple times and said, this is a good place. Like, this is a good place to raise a family. It's a great place to have business. People are nice. I always thought people in Ohio were nice. People here are like,
that's not what you said about me
really
earlier.
nice. No. I mean, I remember getting off the phone with, actually it was Brooke Palmer's office right when we moved here. I said, you're just so nice. So anyway, moved here and developed our first community, the Villas at Timber Run, which was a 72-home condo community of Epcon Communities plans. And kind of just went from there, started building our first custom home outside of Epcon was our own home.
Right.
So
which it should be.
Yeah, right. We thought we'd give it a try on ourselves first, and I've just gone from there. So.
Yeah. Well, all the houses are still. I think last time I checked, all the houses are still standing. So I think we're we're okay on that end. Yeah. As far as how the business went, I mean, that's absolutely amazing. Kind of from your path, and I don't think many people probably, unless they're close friends with you, know you started out over in Ohio, then went completely polar opposite of the country, and then back to Ohio, and then found Indiana. And then a little small town Greenfield, which is now growing.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really cool and really awesome to find out kind of your guys' background on that end. As far as the business now goes, I think we talked a little bit before we got on the show. You guys are, building homes left and right, and currently are in the 20s to 25 range of houses being in middle of construction, correct, right now?
Yes, I think I just looked, like I said, I told him, I said, I'm a numbers person. I don't like estimating. I like facts. So I looked up, and we have 24 homes right now in some stage of construction, one way or another. Building about 35 a year, depending on where that year falls.
Right.
But definitely on the growth trend.
That's awesome. Now, as far as when the COVID happened, because I mean, we still are, I guess, still in this pandemic and somewhat. You guys were, thankful enough and fortunate to be able to stay open and still building and still working, because people obviously still needed a home to live in. So I'm glad that was available for you guys. What did you guys do differently during that time frame to adjust? Because every business, it's nice to hear from every business how they changed. Now they went either virtually, still have their monthly meetings, weekly meetings, whatever it is. So kind of give us how, from when they said we're completely shut down to essential businesses only, what did you guys do differently?
Right. Well, I think there was about 20 minutes there where I was unsure as to whether we were going to be an essential business. Construction was not residential construction was not on the very first list, but it was only about 20 minutes. But, right off the bat, we were already, I think, when the stay-at-home order went, had already told people to work at home if they could. So we definitely said, work at home if you can. The thing with construction, especially in the spring with all the rain, you don't want those homes staying unoccupied. You want somebody in there checking on things. So we were thankful to be able to move along. We went virtual with all of our meetings internally. We have, 4 or 5 different departmental meetings. So I got a Zoom premium subscription. That was one of the first things I did when I got kicked off my first 40-minute call. So, a lot of us, I know some people were on 3 and 4 Zoom calls a day trying to figure out, what they were trying to get through. We closed our model, which I don't know that we had to. A lot of builders were still doing by appointment only. We just closed, and did a lot of face-to-face appointments, not face-to-face,
virtual,
computer appointments, and did some virtual tours and some Facebook Live type things where we could, show people. It's amazing, what people are willing to look at online as opposed to seeing in person. So that was our biggest thing. And now, since reopening, we have the hand sanitizer everywhere and the shields and the masks, and our models are open now, but obviously still trying to social distance and do all those types of things.
Yeah, that's smart. I guess kind of going backwards, because before I got off track, with your kids and your involvement in the community, I know there's probably many different not-for-profits that are near and dear to your heart and whatnot, but kind of give us an idea of I don't know if you and Tom sit on the same boards, different boards, or whatnot. Are there some local places that you assist or sit on committees or boards for? And if so, who those are?
Yep. So Tom and I are both really, I would say our number one nonprofit is Rotary Club of Greenfield, which I can put a plug in for them because that's a great organization to join. We were asked to join right after we moved here, maybe a year afterward. And I've met so many people through that are now my friends, of course my neighbors, but business associates. I mentioned to you earlier, Rotary is kind of networking through service. So, we're service-minded individuals, but we get a chance to do that with other people, which feels really good. They support both international and local projects. So we do a lot with the Pensy Trail, a lot with the nonprofits here, but we also do a lot of international things. And then more locally, what our club has been involved with internationally is the Gift of Life program, where we help kids in areas that don't have access to heart surgery to get that access to that care. So I've been on that board. Tom is now on that board. I'm on the Greenfield Main Street.
Before you get off the road,
sure.
You guys are the ones that do the foreign exchange students.
Yes.
Correct. So my parents and my parents and my 2 older brothers, or my 2 younger brothers and younger sister, they have they have a foreign exchange student right now. The one from Chile.
Do they have Pablo?
Rodrigo.
Oh, Rodrigo. Yes. Rodrigo. I'm sorry. Pablo was last time.
And it's so cool, and his connection now. It's like he doesn't even want to go back. It almost seems like. But I was just talking to Shelby, my wife, the other day, and I'm like, man, because there's a small little time frame where he almost had to within 2 days had to go leave. But thankfully he's able to stay a little bit longer and kind of be able to have maybe a good going away party. But what's that process like as far as how that works?
So again, Rotary being an international organization, they have an exchange program, and one club will, you can have an outgoing student. We've had outbound students before, or inbound students. Okay. We try to have an inbound student every other year, every third year, it depends. And then that student will spend we break the year into thirds, and so 1/3 until Thanksgiving, then until spring break, and then for the summer, with different families. Okay. Usually club members, but in the case of your parents, not. So we hosted Louise a couple years ago
Okay,
now
that's
from, and so it's a great program.
Oh, it's amazing. It's funny because my little kids, I got a 5-year-old
Yes.
and a 2-year-old, and Brooklyn, the 5-year-old, and we were hanging out one afternoon or one evening, and mom and I were introducing Rodrigo to us, and Brooklyn couldn't say Rodrigo, so she started calling him Don Rigo.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's what everybody starts calling him. There's Don Rigo.
Don Rigo,
it's
yeah.
hilarious.
That's
and now our little 2-year-old, she's now a talking machine. She calls him Rigo.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
funny.
Rigo and Don Rigo. So it's so cool to see, and such a great kid. And I feel like that's almost every single one of the kids that come over to do that. They're very thankful and appreciative of everything that goes on. So
and that's the really cool thing with Rotary that I've always liked is we've worked on so many different things, and whatever you want to do, you can just do it. And our club especially, the club members are always so supportive of whatever it is that somebody comes up with.
That's awesome. Sorry, you're getting ready to go into the Greenfield Main Street board.
So I'm on that board as well, which has done a lot for the downtown area between facade grants and some activities and events down there. And then I'm also recently on the Hancock Health Board of Directors as well. And Tom has been on other things through the years too. I know on the Hancock County Builders Council, he's been a part of that. So we try to
don't spill your beans on Tom. Tom was too important. He had a business.
So he gets his own.
Yeah, he gets. Okay. We may get him on there, but if he doesn't, it's his loss.
Yeah. So between he and I, we try to keep we keep involved in the things that mean a lot to us. Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess kind of too. I guess talk a little bit about the business and what you guys are doing. My spaz ADHD mind goes all over the place, and it's just the authentic part about the podcast that I love. And I tell people all the time, if you don't enjoy it and you don't like the way I'm going, then go listen to another podcast in Hancock County. Oh wait, there is not.
You're right.
So go which is fun. But on the building side of things, what's that process? So like if me, I know I was just talking about that. If I wanted to buy a house, or if I wanted to build a house with you guys, whether it was in an addition or in a housing development addition, or if I was wanting to build on my own piece of land, what's that process start to finish?
Start to finish. So it can depend. So it can go a couple different ways. I would say right now our more common way of going about that, we have a collection of floor plans. So you get online. Well, I mean, you don't have to go online. You can come into our model, but we will work with you to find a floor plan that works. And maybe it's like, I really love the juniper, but I need a third-car garage, or whatever. We can work through some of those things. We have flexibility. Or we also have a design build portion of our business, which Tom does most of. So, from scratch, basically, custom design from scratch. And Tom does all of that.
If he's not running on his, or if he's not walking on his treadmill workstation, doesn't he have
He
one?
does not have a treadmill desk. No,
I thought I saw a treadmill.
We have one at the office.
Okay, I thought I saw one.
We do have one. He does not usually do it, but no. So he does the design for the design. He also has designed all of our set floor plans.
Awesome.
But and so then we kind of nail down a floor plan, find out where you want to be. I mean, that's obviously it's location, just like all of real estate. It'll be a neighborhood in Greenfield, or is it out on your lot in the county? Work through all the permitting, zoning, all that stuff. Our design studio downtown Greenfield is where you pick everything. So you pick from everything from the outside paint color to the floor and the countertop and your appliances. Everything is picked out. Everything is picked out before we start construction, so the full price of your home before we start and break ground, which we felt like was really important when we were looking for a house. We've heard that from other people, like you buy a house and you don't know how much it's, you hear about all these extras along the way, and that's what we tried to avoid. So anyway, so you go through the design process, financing, permits, buy the land, and then we just build. We build the house and take pictures. We have, we're kind of I won't say we're like at the forefront of technology, because we probably aren't, but for a local home builder,
you guys do a pretty good job.
We do a lot. Yeah. We have like the app I was looking at earlier. I can pull up every job that's going. I can look at every single job and see where it is in the schedule. Our schedule that our project managers run have like 130 line items that also have 100 to-do checklist items that go with them. We have the customer has a portal, so they can log in and they can see their selections, and they can see. We take photos of the homes every week and post them there. And then once they're completed, they can submit their warranty requests through there. So really trying to use that technology to better the customer experience.
More customer centric,
And on the back end, it helps us. I don't know how we would manage 24 homes under construction without that.
Yeah, and I guess too, I'm sure, and maybe I'm just going to sound stupid when I ask you this question, but I don't care.
That's right.
The names of your guys' homes, there's got to be a story behind how you got those names, and this is all, I did not ask for this, I don't know, there's just got to be a reason for each name.
There is, some have a reason, so some, I'm trying to think.
Sorry to throw you on this.
No, that's okay, I'm trying to think. Honestly, we like the names of the homes to kind of reflect why, so one of our tagline is character-rich, smart design. So that character piece, Tom and I, we love to travel all the time. And I think we are always drawn to that, like, mountain town, which architecturally doesn't fit here necessarily, but you can bring pieces and parts of that to these homes, which we've done through this, the beams and things. So like the Dakota, that, I'm trying to think, Everton. Sometimes I've done things like pull up street names in Colorado.
That's cool.
Like, that's a good way, and you come up with some really dumb ones too, but that's been a good way for Juniper.
Yeah.
The Everton is one that's interesting. The Everton is that we are a part of an industry group, and one of the builders is in near Vancouver.
Okay.
And we went to go visit him there. Beautiful, gorgeous area. And his company's Everton Ridge, so we named it. We're putting Everton.
That's awesome.
The Milner is Tom grew up on Milner Road. So we have a couple that are like really meaningful, and then a couple that are like, that sounds like a cool name.
Absolutely.
So.
No, I just figured there had to be some type of good story behind it.
Some of them are, and some of them don't need anything.
Cool.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, you're going to have one named after something fun here in Hancock County or in Greenfield maybe at some point?
I'm trying to think. I feel like we did. We don't have like the Riley, I don't think, or anything.
I feel like I've heard something.
I know, that's right.
I feel like there's a home building, or there's a housing edition or somebody that has the Riley.
Whitcomb Meadows.
Do they have?
And there's a couple, and they have, I think that's the one that has like Bear Story Drive and a couple other, Orphan Annie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it's really based around that.
That's what I thought.
We try to make ours, our new subdivision is Williams Run.
Okay.
And the Williams, it was the Williams Farm. So we try to take that story and connect it. Yeah. Cool. And then Run being, our first community was Timber Run, so it kind of connects those two. So.
What's the, you guys have a new one just right off of, is it 200?
Uh-huh.
Tell us a little bit about that one.
So it's just off of 200 West. It's Mount Vernon School's just north of 40, not far off of that intersection there. It's called the Boulders, and it is just a single family home community. Again, the Boulders, we tried to kind of give it that, out west feel. It's got some really neat mounding and some landscaping that adds to that character.
Right. Are you guys building a house in Stone Ridge, right? Or do you guys have one in there, or have you built?
We are not. We have built a lot in Stone Ridge. That's and that's where our home is. That was our first home. And we have a few that are coming up shortly. We do not actively have one under construction.
Gotcha. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess kind of just to wrap things up, and like I said, I want to eventually at some point have you and Tom both back on the show. Whether it's at your design center or
he's super interesting. I mean, he's a neat guy because he's got that engineering brain, but the artistic side that he can see. He can see it recreated. He knows what they're supposed to look like, and that's so cool. Talented. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time with everything that you guys do in the community. I know, sitting on the Local First committee campaign with the Chamber of Commerce. And just hearing all the great things you guys are doing, and currently on our We Got Your Back Local First campaign for this spring, benefiting the Boys and Girls Club of Hancock County. So another way that they're giving back. If you're interested in buying a home or building a home, or just ask some questions. I mean, phenomenal individuals, great people just to talk to, wealth of knowledge. Haven't got a chance to talk to Tom, but it sounds like I need to. It'd be a good conversation, and hopefully we can have you or maybe just your team back on the show and kind of have a little sit around this round table and bounce some ideas off of everybody. Question I like to ask, I used to ask this question beginning of the question I used to ask everybody is kind of shifted gears because I wanted to keep it more driven on the Hancock County community. If you had one more meal, you had your last meal to eat here in Hancock County. Not outside. I know we have all of our own favorite restaurants.
Sure.
A local food spot that you're gonna go have right now.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Or a couple. I mean, if you have.
I can pick more than one because
couple.
there's two that are sticking in my head. The first is Carnegie's. That was one of the first introductions that we had to Greenfield, and I mean, I haven't tried anything there that tastes bad. I mean, it's all amazing. So that would definitely be right there. But Don Rigo's is the other one that you just can't beat. You know, chips and salsa and guacamole and all that good
And a
stuff.
nice margarita. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. So but it'd be a hard tie between the two. So
Okay.
I could probably manage to eat it both in one night.
Oh, I
if
could
had
too.
to.
That's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always if we ask that's the question in the house. Where are we gonna go for dinner tonight? And our 5-year-old is, I want to go Don Rigo's.
Yes.
Or she used to call it Mexico. I want to go to Mexico.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, well we can. I wanted to go to Mexico.
Yeah, but hey, second best. It's not bad. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, traveling wise, you guys have another next trip you guys want to take, or?
We don't have any trips planned, and it's just I think honestly for me, I won't say that's been the hardest because it hasn't been, but it has been. I look forward to traveling. That's kind of my escape, and honestly, that's where we kind of recharge and get energized by the surroundings, and learn new things, and have time to read books and really take in the full picture.
Right.
And so I've missed it a lot.
bet.
I'm ready. I get it. It's still not totally safe, and I can wait, but I do miss it. Yeah.
I'm sure. Now, before we let it get off, give everybody kind of an idea where they can find you guys
Sure.
out, with the website, social media,
Mhm.
and then your guys' business hours. That'd be great.
Yeah. So we are on Facebook for sure. That's probably our largest presence. Tons of pictures, tons of video. I mean, not tons of videos, but a lot of videos, tons of pictures. And it's just, I think, facebook.com/Joyner Homes. It's Joyner with a Y. And website is joynerhomesonline.com. And that's a place where you can go see exactly how it works. There's actually a tab that says how it works, so you can learn more there. And then our office is downtown, 123 West Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And we're open there 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And then this is our model. You asked me off the top of my head, I can't remember the address.
I couldn't tell you.
It's in Somerset, and it's Summerwood Boulevard toward the back of the community.
Literally take the first road and drive straight back. You'll drive right into the house.
Right. And our model is open 7 days a week, noon to 5.
Gotcha.
So lots of ways to find us, but website's probably easiest. Call our office. That's fine too.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, I appreciate your help. I will make sure to put all that information down in the description in the bio here, and then obviously on our website, InsideHancockCounty.com. Go to the episodes tab, and you will see the most recent and all of the information that you'll find for Joyner Homes. Clickable links to the Facebook, Instagram, and their website for all that information as well. Once again, appreciate your time.
Sure.
Appreciate everything you guys do. Look forward to continuing to grow a relationship in the near future here. Also, don't forget, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and Instagram. And also, don't forget to go subscribe to our new email list for your weekly steals and deals around Hancock County, coupons and all types of great stuff coming your way. Don't worry, it's only going to be one email a week. I'm not going to obliterate you with anything. It's literally just a way to offer up some coupons and some deals for you guys listening. Please share that and spread the cheer. So once again, appreciate it.
Sure.
Have a good rest of your guys' day. And always remember that you can make a difference in Hancock County. We'll see you soon.